Did you know that one of the most unexpected signs of a satanic attack, according to St. Pio, is an overwhelming feeling of isolation? Imagine feeling abandoned without knowing why. A feeling so intense it shakes your faith. St. Pio identified this as one of the hidden signals of spiritual warfare, a warning that we're not often aware of. Stick around to uncover the other signs St. Pio warned us about and how they might be closer than you think. Now, here's a glimpse into what you'll discover. From overwhelming despair to intense temptations, physical disturbances, and even sudden confusion, these aren't random moments of struggle. Each sign reveals an enemy tactic aimed at weakening your faith. St. Pio also taught that negative influences and the desire to withdraw from prayer are strong indicators of an attack. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to recognize and overcome these spiritual challenges using the wisdom he shared. Watch until the end to understand how each of these signs can be turned into a source of strength and growth for your faith journey. Welcome to our deep dive into the signs of satanic attack, as revealed by one of the most insightful and spiritually attuned saints of our time, St. Pio of Pietrelcina, also known as Padre Pio. This video explores the signs of spiritual warfare that St. Pio experienced firsthand, guiding us through subtle yet powerful signs of satanic influence. These aren't your everyday struggles, but deeply spiritual battles intended to disturb your soul and weaken your faith. Today, we'll walk through these signs together so that you can recognize and stand firm against these attacks. Understanding them can help you protect your soul and bring you closer to Christ's guidance and strength. 1. Overwhelming feelings of despair. One of the first signs St. Pio warned about was an overpowering sense of despair, a heavy darkness that can settle over you, often without a clear reason. This despair isn't just ordinary sadness. It feels like a relentless pull towards hopelessness, as though all light and hope have been taken from you. St. Pio knew this feeling well, having experienced it countless times throughout his life. There was a period when he felt God's presence slipping away, as though his prayers reached only silence. But instead of giving in, St. Pio clung to his faith with even greater fervor. He taught that this feeling of despair is temporary and is often the devil's way of trying to weaken our connection with God. By trusting Christ and continuing in prayer, we can push through this darkness to find hope on the other side. 2. Sudden and intense temptations. Another clear sign St. Pio identified is the sudden, intense surge of temptations, sometimes emerging from nowhere. These are not merely moments of weakness, but overpowering urges that can push you toward behaviors or thoughts you typically resist. St. Pio himself was no stranger to this type of attack. He described times where he felt almost overwhelmed by certain thoughts or impulses that tried to sway him from his devotion to Christ. These moments often left him feeling troubled and exhausted, yet he knew these temptations were strategies to test and challenge his faith. St. Pio advised that when faced with such strong temptations, we should turn immediately to God, praying for the strength to resist. Through prayer and the sacraments, we can build resilience against such sudden and intense trials. 3. Physical disturbances and ailments. A more tangible sign of satanic attack is the appearance of unexplained physical ailments or disturbances. Throughout his life, St. Pio encountered strange and unexplainable physical pains that often coincided with moments of intense spiritual struggle. For example, he suffered from astigmata, bleeding wounds on his hands and feet that mirrored the wounds of Christ, yet he bore them as part of his calling. These physical sufferings, which often left him weakened, were seen by St. Pio as a manifestation of spiritual conflict, an attempt by dark forces to break his spirit. He believed that physical afflictions could be a sign of deeper, unseen battles. In such times, he encouraged turning to the Eucharist and uniting our suffering with Christ's, finding strength and meaning through our physical and spiritual trials. 4. Withdrawal from prayer and spiritual practices. An equally troubling sign of a satanic attack is a sudden and unexplained desire to avoid prayer, mass, or other spiritual practices. St. Pio was acutely aware of this tactic, noting that he himself sometimes felt an unexplainable dryness or resistance to prayer. In these moments, it's as if a veil has been drawn between us and God, making spiritual practices feel empty or burdensome. St. Pio taught that this is often a direct attack meant to pull us away from our main source of strength. When we feel this way, it's crucial to push through, continuing in prayer and devotion even when it's hardest. St. Pio often reminded his followers that in moments of spiritual dryness, prayer is more important than ever, as it keeps us anchored in God's grace. 5. Confusion or lack of clarity. Confusion and lack of clarity, though subtle, are powerful indicators of satanic interference, according to St. Pio. He knew this well, having often faced moments when his mind felt clouded and his thoughts unclear. During his years of spiritual growth, he would sometimes be so overwhelmed by confusion that he questioned his own path and decisions. He understood this as the enemy's attempt to disrupt our peace, causing doubts that pull us away from God's light. St. Pio encouraged his followers to seek clarity in these moments by grounding themselves in prayer and asking God to clear the fog. He reminded us that even if we feel lost, God's Word remains a guiding light, and through it, we can find truth and direction. 6. Negative relationships or environments. One often overlooked sign of spiritual attack involves negative relationships or environments. St. Pio was highly aware of the influence that surroundings and people can have on our spiritual health. Throughout his ministry, he encountered individuals who, intentionally or unintentionally, tried to sway him or his followers away from a righteous path. He knew that people who instill doubt or lead us into sin can be part of the devil's strategy to weaken our resolve. St. Pio advised believers to be mindful of the company they keep, surrounding themselves with those who strengthen their faith. In difficult situations, he urged kindness and prayer for those who might mislead us, but he also emphasized the importance of avoiding harmful environments whenever possible. 7. Feelings of isolation and abandonment. Finally, one of the most heartbreaking signs St. Pio described is a profound sense of isolation and abandonment. This feeling can arise even when we're surrounded by loved ones, a loneliness so deep that it feels as if even God is distant. St. Pio knew this feeling well, having endured periods in his life when he felt completely alone in his struggles. He taught that these feelings are among the devil's most effective tools to separate us from God's love, trying to make us feel forgotten and unworthy. But St. Pio reminded us that this isolation is an illusion, the enemy's way of making us doubt God's ever-present care. He encouraged finding strength in prayer, turning our hearts fully to God even when He feels far away. In doing so, we can break through that isolating darkness and feel the warmth of God's love once more. These 7 signs of satanic attack, as revealed by St. Pio, remind us that the spiritual world is always active around us, often influencing our inner struggles and challenges. From despair to isolation, each sign has one goal: to weaken our faith and distance us from God. Yet, as St. Pio showed us through his own life, these trials can also be moments of profound growth and resilience. By recognizing these signs, we can take steps to safeguard our souls, strengthening our faith in God's protection and grace. If this video resonated with you or brought clarity to your spiritual journey, take a moment to reflect on any experiences you've had that align with these signs. Sometimes, simply sharing our stories can be deeply healing, and you never know who might benefit from hearing yours. So, drop a comment below And let's start a conversation about the ways St. Pio's wisdom has helped us recognize and rise above these challenges. If you found this valuable, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach others who may need this insight. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future videos on strengthening faith and overcoming spiritual battles. And if you know someone who could use this message, consider sharing it with them. Let's build a community of strength and support together. If you're looking to overcome depression and anxiety by strengthening your spirituality, I invite you to check out my ebook, Soulful Transformations, Bridging Faith and Mind for Lasting Wellness, available on Kindle. This book combines cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, with biblical wisdom to help you manage stress, tackle anxiety, and find lasting peace through faith. It's not just about mental health. It's about deepening your relationship with God and transforming your life in ways that inspire others. Check the description below for the link and take the first step toward a life of spiritual and emotional wellness.